Hey everybody, welcome back to Prescription Bourbon. I'm DMC from Louisville, Kentucky. Today I'm going to be reviewing this lineup of Benchmark bourbons from Buffalo Trace Distillery. Alright, so these bottles of Benchmark represent the premium lineup of Benchmark bourbon from Buffalo Trace. These were released back in 2020, 2021, and for the first year they were available only in Indiana, which seemed a little odd, but lucky for me, it's right across the river from Louisville here, so I was able to pick some up pretty early on. They didn't go nationwide until later in 2021 to 2022 is when people could get them nationally. I don't have the standard Benchmark in this lineup, just the old number 8, which has been around for years and years. This is the newly released, stepped up bottles. So I've got these poured already. I got them sitting in the glass. I'm going to go through, do a nosing, do a tasting, and tell you whether any of these seem like they're decent enough to pick up and sip on these days. But what's in this lineup is the small batch, which comes in at 90 proof, the single barrel that comes in at 95 proof, the bottle and bond that comes in at 100 proof, the full proof, which comes in at 125 proof, and the top floor, which comes in at 86 proof. I'll go ahead and move this guy back to the beginning, so these are actually now lined up in proof order. Basically lined up in cost order also. The full proof and the small batch, I've seen anywhere in that $14 to $17 price range around Kentucky area. The single barrel and the bottle and bond are more in that $16 to $20 price point, so maybe $3 more than those. And this full proof is usually above $20 but less than $25, so usually that $20 to $25 price range, so probably about $5 more than these guys. So the full gambit of prices, there's about a $10 price difference. None of these are age stated. They are all listed as straight bourbon whiskeys with no age statement. So we'll say they're all 4 years old since they are listed as straight bourbon whiskey with no age statement. So the regular old number 8 Benchmark, which I don't have in this lineup, is only 80 proof. It's more like the $10 to $12 price point, and it is age stated as only 36 months. So only 3-year-old. So left that one out of the mix, and we'll see what we get here. So let me move some of these bottles out of the way, and we'll get to our nosing and tasting. All right. So as I said, these have been poured for a while. These have been in the glass. I will call this A, B, C, D, E. Go through and give them a quick nose. Tell you what I prominently get on the nose, if any of them seem off-putting or not, and then we'll go through and do the same with a quick taste. So glass A. A hint of caramel on that. Seems to have a little alcohol punch too, which is interesting. 4 of these bottles are in the 86 to 90 proof range, and then it jumps up to the 125 proof for the full proof. So that guy might be an outlier. Glass B. All right, a little bit less caramel on that. A slight bit of oak on that nose. Glass C. Definitely picking up some vanilla on this one. Some oak also, but vanilla prominent on that one. Glass D. Very similar to Glass C, really. Maybe the oak is a little bit more prominent on D and E. All right, a little bit of fruitiness on this one. Might actually lean towards the grape note on that, which is interesting. I've been sipping on these a little bit over the last week, just preparing for this video, and I've been surprised at how much I've gotten grape on the taste on these. I know it's not unheard of to get grape on Buffalo Trace product, but honestly, I think I'd only gotten it before on some E.H. Taylor samples I've had. I don't think I've ever got it on an actual bottle of E.H. Taylor that I've owned, and I had got it on an Eagle Rare before also. So interesting that it's trickling down to these Benchmarks. All right, go in and give Glass A a taste. Cheers. All right, that's got a thicker mouthfeel than I expected. Definitely not a thin mouthfeel. It's less than medium mouthfeel, I'd say, but it's got thicker than I expected. It's got a little bit of oak on the taste. And definitely some peppery spice on there too, so not a bad sip. Glass B, cheers. Alright, didn't notice any mouthfeel on that. Spicier. And definitely lean towards the cinnamon spice on that one. And a little bit of grapey fruitiness on there too. So, alright, go through and give Glass C a taste. Cheers. Alright, C had a little bit of thicker mouthfeel than B, so it was back similar to A. Taste is kind of all over the place. It's got some spice, somewhere between pepper and cinnamon there. I guess there's some oak coming in. It's not the best oak. It almost slightly left a bad taste in my mouth, honestly. So I'm going to knock C out of the running right away. I'm just going to eliminate it from moving on. Glass D, cheers. All right, this one definitely had a better oak, more oak. It's drying, a little bit of drying on the tongue. Definitely cinnamon spice. And man, that spice, it's strong. It's definitely the strongest spice I've had so far. That's a good sip. It's hot from the spice. All right, go in and give Glass E a taste. All right, E I'm going to knock out also. It didn't quite leave as bad a taste in my mouth as C did, but it just didn't have the flavor that A, B, and D had. So A, B, and D are going to dance on. Definitely there's some spice on E that's lingering though, so it's got a nice lingering spice on there. But just once again, the taste. Yeah, the taste on C and E are just not as good as the other ones. So, all right, I'm going to let these three sit for a bit, and I'm going to cover them here, and I'll come back and give another quick nose and taste, and tell you which ones I think are the best for today. Alright, it's been a short while. I'm going to go through and taste these three again. A couple things I hadn't talked about. I think the small batch, the bottle and bond, and the single barrel are pretty self-explanatory. The full proof, that's becoming kind of an industry standard, and it's not exactly cask strength, but basically, you've got the barrel entry proof, the proof that the distillate goes into the barrel before aging, and then when it's finished aging, if they were just barrel it right there without changing the proof by adding water, then that would be considered cask strength. But full proof means they usually bring it back to the barrel entry proof. So 125 proof is the barrel entry proof here. So if it had, after aging, if it had gone up to 130 or so proof, they proof it back down to 125. The top floor. This is the only 86 proof, the lowest proof here on the table. But what they claim the top floor does, that's barrels that were aged in the top floor or two of the warehouses. And just the excess heat from heat rising and being up near the sun hitting the roof and all that, it's accepted that those barrels typically age faster than barrels down deeper or on the lower floors of the warehouse. So those barrels even though they might have been in the warehouse for the same point in time as all these other ones. Let's say they were all in the warehouse for 4 years. In theory, these top floor barrels would tend to maybe taste a little older. They just would have aged quicker with that excess heat and all that. So, yeah, we'll see. But all right, I'm going to go A, B, C. I'm going to start with D and go backwards this time. Yeah, all the same notes on the nose. Some caramel, some vanilla, some oak. This one's definitely drying on the tongue. The oak is there. I'm definitely getting grapiness on the taste. Not a lot of sweetness, but more spice for sure. And it's presenting itself as a cinnamon type spice. So doesn't seem to be lingering excessively though. I just get that grape. I get that cinnamon spice, the oak dryingness. The cinnamon is lingering though. I took another sip there, and it actually gets to its peak of that cinnamon hotness after a while. I mean, it took it like 10 seconds to get there, and stayed there for a little bit, and then it tapered off. So. Nice. That's a nice sip. This one is enjoyable. All right, Class B. All right, Class B. Pleasant sip. Nothing off-putting about it. It's got some cinnamon spice. It's got a little bit of oak. It's got all that. Not really getting the grapiness I was getting on D. I think I do get a hint of that, a hint of some kind of a sugar, fruity sweetness there. But sugar is not the right word. None of these have presented themselves really as sweet. Even that grapey note, it's pleasant, but it's not really sweet. But yeah, I'm gonna knock him back a peg. So at the moment, he's above C and E, but behind D. So go to Class A. Cheers. All right, noticeable thicker mouthfeel on A. Stronger vanilla presence on the taste. Oak dryingness, and the spice comes later. It's not really presenting itself as just a pure cinnamon spice either, though. So I can see where this could be borderline peppery spice. But I'll go with cinnamon also. More pronounced flavors than B. He does have a hint of sweetness. But yeah, A is a more pleasant sip. And I'm pretty sure D is maybe the winner here, but let me give it one more sip. Yeah. The only thing that people that don't like oak, I would knock D back for you guys, and probably go with A above D. This is a nice oak for me. It's definitely some drying oak. I'm enjoying it, but it does have that grapiness on there, and it does have a long cinnamon spicy finish and all that. So I'm enjoying D. This is gonna be my favorite for today. I've said it before. Taste these any given day, and the rankings might be different. Just depends on my mood that day, what I've had to eat, drink, whatever. So these are my rankings for today. But let's go through and see what we have. And like I say, I think these three to me were pretty close. A, B, and D were pretty close. I'm going to repeat that C and E, for whatever reason, just left a slightly bad taste in my mouth today, and I knocked them out immediately. And then we'll see what we have between A, B, and D. So C was the Bottle and Bond. So it's 100 proof, but for whatever reason, didn't sit right on my palate today. And E is the top floor. So Bottle and Bond and top floor, which I'm not sure where they're at in here, but I think it's over here and over here. So, all right. So those two were out, and so I'll go with third. My third place today is B, and this is the single barrel. So single barrel, 95 proof. It's a nice sip. All the flavors are good. They're all nice, and it's pretty well rounded, honestly. I just think that A and D punched a little higher, so those got ranked above it. But there's nothing at all wrong with this single barrel sip. So A's my second place today. All right, and like I said, if anybody doesn't like oak, if I didn't like oak, then D would be ranked lower, and this would have been the winner. But this is, for today anyways, my second place choice, and this is the small batch. So small batch comes in at second place. So beat out the Bottle and Bond, beat out the single barrel, even all that. So very nice. And that means the winner today is the full proof. So, oddly, I didn't peg this one as being the highest proof or being way stronger than the other ones. It was the oak that really drove this one to me. So, yeah, if anything, after tasting all these, I would say this guy's drinking less than its proof point. Like I say, it didn't jump out as 20, 25 proof points higher than like the Bottle and Bond, or 30 proof points higher than the single barrel. So that's saying something on the nose or on the palate. It's a nice, well-rounded sip. Got some really nice oak. Got some really nice cinnamon spiciness that lingers. So there you go. And price-wise, the full proof is, I believe, in the middle of the pack here. So I think the single barrel is the most expensive one, and the top floor and the small batch are the cheaper ones. So this full proof right here, 125 proof. And less than $20. So I would say this guy's definitely worth a pickup. The single barrels, I mean, they're going to vary, as all single barrels, they're going to vary from barrel to barrel. So this one I have here, I enjoyed. And the small batch was surprised there too. So, all right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've watched my channel before, welcome back. Leave some comments down below if you've tried any of these. If you haven't been able to find them, they've been out now for, like I say, over 3 years nationwide. Yeah, but I had never done a video comparing them all against each other and choosing whether any of them that were worth picking up or not. So hopefully this has been useful to you. Remember, all bourbon is whiskey, but all whiskey is not bourbon. The best bourbon comes from Kentucky. Cheers.